You both had an extreme amount of work, inner work, to do before you could get to this point of physical 3D union. This is not going to be for everyone. This is going to be predominantly for twin flame energy, because that was the message for the twin flame collective, that, you know, you've been in a separation phase, 3D separation phase of your journey. For who this is for, it's gonna be, you know, at least a year or more that you've been in physical separation with your twin soul, okay? But again, this can resonate and be for you as well, even if it's not twin flame. So I really wanna make that clear, because I am a twin flame channeler. I am a twin flame channel as well, because I'm a twin flame, twin soul. Those of you guys who are twin flames, we've been twin souls. We've been a twin flame since the incarnation of our soul. It's not something that you can wish for and pray for and manifest. It's just you either are one or you're not one, right? And to be quite honest, if you've been here with me, then you already know. If you're new, welcome, mi amors. I am Erica. I am a psychic medium and a high priestess, a prophetess, a divine seer, oracle, whatever you want to say. But I would not wish the twin flame journey on anyone. And if you're returning, welcome back, my loves. Because it is not a lovey-dovey romance. Look at trapped. And then love, unconditional love, compassion, genuine union. Okay, so the time of union is upon us. There are many twin flames that are aligning into physical 3D union at this time. Especially, you know, so for who this is for, you've been going through a very difficult time. You've been going through a lot of hardships, meaning, again, you guys both had so many lessons, so much healing work to do before you could reach this point, because, you know, divine masculine reflected, you guys both reflected the wounds within each other, okay? For the divine feminine, yeah, is there death of the ego in big ways? Of course, just like the masculine, but the divine feminine goes, you know, into that place of self-love, into that place of, you know, isolation, being with self, you know, really like dismantling the 3D structures that, you know, are not in alignment for them, things like that, right? But divine masculine reflected to the feminine where and how the divine feminine was lacking in true divine self-love, self-awareness, self-reflection, connecting to their most highest selves, and living in the 3D reality and living their life as such, right? So masculine shine light on that. That's why feminine, right? Feminine gets triggered where it is that, and then we go into, and our trigger for many feminines starts with divine masculine starting to be triggered as well. So their energy starts to shift. They become more, they become less communicative. They start like being breadcrumby. They start like pulling away or kind of backpedaling. And many divine feminines could feel that, or they sensed it, or they saw it, or they just, right? It was like, this is what's happening. So divine feminine, right, with masculine triggering these wounds of rejection and abandonment within the feminine, but also, you know, masculine shining light and mirroring the wounds of self-love and, you know, things like that, right? Divine feminines, many of you guys, you took a stand, you walked away, you said, this is not what I deserve better. You know, go do you then, you know, I'm not going to be I'm not going to just sit here while you breadcrumb me, right? So, so a lot of feminines actually walked away from divine masculine, but it's because of what masculine was reflecting and how they were, you know. And then for masculine, you know, the divine feminine mirrored and reflected to them, right? The fact that they are also not self-loving, that they are continuing to choose cycles or behaviors or patterns that are, you know, toxic or not in the highest greatest good, right? And that was very triggering for masculines, being very much in the distorted ego, right? Okay. So the reason why I'm talking about all this, like, only you will do. Only you will do. There had to be an extreme amount of separation in the physical. You know, this is not someone that like you broke up with, you know, a week ago. This is not someone toxic and crazy from your past. This is the real stuff, and this is what I mean, you know, and if it's like, and if it's twin flame, like I said, you know, the twin situation, the twin dynamic and connection is grueling. It is so, there's so much resistance. There's so much time alone and isolation because that's just how the true journey goes. It's not about being together. It's not about some dreamy romance like so many people believe it is. It's not. You know, I see so many people where I'm like, oh my gosh, because people are like, I just want to meet a twin flame. I'm manifesting a twin flame. I just want a twin flame. No, you don't. Is it absolutely beautiful? Sorry guys. I have this wrap that I've had for years. I like wanted to wear it today because it's just so, I don't know, it's super cute and comfy, but it's like really kind of rough. Okay, anyways. No, you don't want the twin flame thing. I mean, like I said though, either you are one or you're not. You can't wish for one. You can't, right? And trust me, like anyone who knows, who truly knows, you would be like, I'll take a past life soulmate, kingdom spouse any day of the week. I'll take a walk-in soulmate, you know, any day of the week. Okay. Speaking of walk-ins, for some of you guys, now a walk-in is only going to come in when you're absolutely ready and when it's absolutely time. A walk-in is not going to come in, a walk-in soulmate, meaning they will either, like let's say you have a divine masculine, you know, counterpart, right? And let's say the divine masculine counterpart is in a place, in a state of consciousness where they feel overwhelmed. They just, it's almost like an exit strategy or an exit point, right? Where they're feeling depressed or they're feeling like, I just don't want to be here anymore. Another soul from the 5D, okay, can, if the other soul is truly ready to leave, okay, another soul can come into the body. So it's like a soul swap, basically. But that's only going to happen to fulfill very sacred soul mission work, you know, sacred contracts, you know, and to, so like if you're like let's say it's like you're a divine feminine, and you have like a really big soul mission here as far as like, you know, helping the collective and humanity and right, just everything, right? You're meant to be a big new earth leader and have a lot of, you know, spiritual status in that regard. And your divine counterpart or your person, your twin, whoever is not stepping up, okay, then there can be a soul swap. Does that mean that you and your twin are no longer twins? No, it just means your twin was not going to fulfill what they came to do and they wanted to opt out. And so they transition out, their soul goes back while the other soul comes in. But this could also happen with, you know, in other cases too. So anyways, it is not something common, so don't think that it is. But unfortunately, there are things, you know, kind of transpiring right now in certain cases where, yeah, people are not stepping up. They're not, especially at this time, it really showed the universe, you know, with the eclipses, with Pluto going direct, things like that. Like, if you've been, you know, basically like if you've been like awakening and you've been resisting and like you just are not going to learn the lesson and you're just not going to do the work, like that, you know, universe knows that, right? So anyways, but I am seeing walk-in soulmates or witnessing them, feeling them coming through for for, you know, soulmates, divine counterparts, or whoever, like however it works. Okay. So anyways, but don't like concentrate on or focus on that. My point is that many people are ready. And going back, many divine masculines are feeling ready as well. Or they're about to start really feeling that way. Okay? It really truly is. I had to go find me so I could find you. You know, I couldn't truly see you for you. I couldn't truly, you know, be with you for you and for what this is and why this is, etc. Like I could not fulfill my duty, my mission. You know, I had to go and I had to journey. And so did you. You both had to do this. There's no one to blame. There's no, you know what I mean? And if you're holding on to like those low vibrational kind of resentful, you know, lack-based energies or emotions anyways, this isn't for you because you're not ready for union. These are two souls who have been through a shit ton of spiritual work, ascension, difficulty, resistance, grief, loss, pain, struggle, betrayals. Your lives have been extra challenging and extra difficult because of who you are and because of what you are and why you're here. You guys hold a high level of empathy, but you also, it's a very infinite, beautiful level of empathy that you hold for one another. There is an infinite level, a high level of empathy that you emanate, I'm getting chills, to the divine masculine. They understand, they feel it. So I know I've just been channeling and sharing, but if you're new here, like that's how I always begin, because that's what I am. I'm a very open channel in these regards in many different ways. I'm getting something about like New York City. For some of you guys, you may resonate with like having a past life in New York when, you know, this would be several hundred years ago, like when people were coming over from Europe. Okay, so you could have been incarnated with this other person, or just maybe just this resonates for you. And maybe you were one of the, you know, maybe you yourself are one of your ancestors that came over. There's also ties to, a lot of ties just in general for you guys having incarnations in such a pivotal moment, the birth of this country here in North America. Because that's what I'm getting. I'm just seeing like all these ships crossing over from Europe over here to the new colonies, to the America. I've always thought it was funny because it's just funny to have your name in America, in your country's name. You know what I mean? Erica in America. Anyways, and specifically the Salem witch trials. Okay, so this is like past life energy of like being a witch, a healer. So these could be very pivotal lifetimes and some of your last incarnations for some of you guys until this incarnation. Or the last time you and this soulmate were together, you know, incarnated on earth together. Yeah, and now I'm being taken to like ancient Egypt, seeing like, you know, the pyramids, and I'm actually seeing the pyramids being built. So for some of you guys, you know, you were there during the construction. You could be Pleiadian and Arcturian. Or Arcturian. I'm getting like J names, like Justin, Jennifer, James, Jesse, Jessica, Janice, Jeanette. Just a lot of J names for some reason. Okay, so that's coming through very strongly. And now I'm hearing October brings bliss. October brings bliss. Okay, so let's get into the cards. We're already 14 minutes in. The mask. Okay, so I just recorded Aries yesterday, and their reading, it should be like right underneath this one. Their reading was literally like about a very powerful soul connection, but then it was also about masks And this energy came out in their reading, but the masks were falling off around them, meaning like they were seeing the true colors of people, or seeing the true colors of the world, situations, Hollywood, whatever it is. Okay, there's just a lot of illusions being shattered. And that's exactly what I'm getting here with this too. Okay, but this is also about someone who's been wearing a mask, who has been, you know, just hiding, essentially, or showing a masked version, a false version of who they are, or that's what they've shown you before. Someone pretending, putting up a front, someone who's two-faced and not genuine. You and this divine counterpart, you guys both are seeing through the illusions in huge ways. So when you, and that makes you on a soul level, like that makes you yearn and long for each other even more, because you both are super real. Okay, you guys are both super real, down to earth, you know, like you speak truth. Okay, you're not gonna like beat around the bush. You're gonna like speak truth, even if you know it's not what people want to hear. There's a lot of pretenders that you guys have both known and dealt with throughout your lives. And that's what I mean. Like, you guys have both known so much rejection, so much falseness, so many fakers and liars and betrayers and cheaters and deceivers. Okay? You guys, it feels like maybe you or this person, or both of you, I don't know, but like, someone, you know, someone has also, while they've been wearing their mask, they have been entertaining other people that also wear a mask. So it's like, you know, it's like, right, your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're fake and you're pretentious and you are this kind of like energy, right? It's like someone who has like 5 cents in their bank account, but they claim to be, you know, I'm a millionaire, and oh yeah, I've got a house here and a house there. And you know, they're trying to like, you know what I mean? Impress by like, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of getting that like, very materialistic energy too. It's like someone who is very materialistic and just like, you know, I'm hearing that, I work hard for the money, but it's just like someone who's like obsessed. So it feels like very like masculine dominant energy in that regard, like maybe divine masculine, but maybe this was you at some point too. You know, maybe you found yourself like meeting people, dating people where you were like, you know, like they've got to have a 401k, they've got to have this, it was all very material focused. You're right. It's good to like want someone who's successful and, you know what I mean, who strives in life, of course, right? Who's made a name for themselves in some way, or is, or you know what I mean? But for that to be like, you know, like for me, it's like, is their heart chakra open? You know, are they open? Are they, you know, do they hold back? Are they timid? You know, do they speak from their heart? Do they speak truth from their heart? You know, do they care about themselves? Do they love themselves? You know, how do they show up and treat others? You know, just stuff like that, right? Like that's what's important to me, right? Anyways, my point is that this is someone who, you know, it's looking for love in all the wrong places, and right, and then all of a sudden the mask just like fades away, it falls off, it like dissolves into thin air, because that's like how it is when you're awakening and you start to see more and more and more with your third eye, and right, your gifts and your intuition, and just like what you pick up like empathically, it just naturally, like it just falls away, you just see, right? That's what's happening here. Okay. All right. And the card on the bottom of the deck here is the influences card. This is about other people being involved, which I do feel that, you know, it's like you guys both, you had a lot of karma to clear, maybe, you know, from past relationships in that regard, past karma, past influences in that regard karmically. But then I feel like during your separation, through 3D separation, you both have dated other people, or, you know, dealt with karmic partners relationships, or marriage. You know, you've had to walk away, you've had to cut cords, you've had to, you know, heal wounds, you've had to, right? Masculines definitely slower to the punch here, but they are also doing the same thing, or that's what they've been kind of moving through, or maybe they're moving through it right at this very moment. But this does speak of third party intervention and manipulation. The divine is intervened, and that's what I'm talking about. The divine is ripping the masks off of people. It's ripping the mask. Look, it's ripping the mask off of Hollywood. You see that? You see Puff Daddy and right, all these celebrities and the right. It's like people don't believe that this kind of stuff is real. People want to bury their heads in the sand. People don't want to believe that there is satanic rituals, that there is dark blood magic, that there is sacrificial rituals for fame, money, clout, power, status, to win a political election. This is the kind of stuff that happens. People don't want to believe it, but now they're seeing. And that is exactly what this is, right? The divine has intervened here on earth. It's ripping the masks, the facade, the false, the fake, the pretend, the liars, the deceivers. It's ripping the mask off of everyone and everything, right? Huge. So you're seeing it collectively. You're seeing it within society and the outside realm, but also within your own life and reality, within yourself, and the masculines too. Like I said, these masculines are highly psychic. They are warriors. They are new earth warriors and protectors, here to hold space for the divine feminine, here to lead the way for divine masculines if they're divine masculine, right? They are way showers in this regard, just like divine feminine. And then decisions. The masks that they've had on and the fact that they've been, you know, living in illusion, living lies, they've been staying in comfort zones, right? But it's the not being able to truly see it aspect that has had them on the fence about, look at, literally, you can't make this stuff up. I'm telling you, this is just confirmation letting you guys know that the divine masculine is truly seeing, or that this person is really truly seeing with their third eye. They're using their spiritual gifts, their psychic ability, their telepathy. They're following the inner guidance, the higher guidance of their higher self. This is confirmation of that. This is where they've been, and that's what I was just going to say. It kept this person on the fence about making a decision about, do I stay or do I go? You know, I feel like I'm staying for the wrong reasons, but then I feel guilt, or, you know, there's all this stuff. Especially 3D materialistic stuff, money and, you know, objects, things, houses, homes, cars, you know, whatever it is, right? Dividing assets, splitting assets, you know, dividing money. Like, this is all, right? It takes work, and then you got to like come to like agreements, and like, it's just a lot of work, and a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. So they stay for the wrong reasons, right? This is someone who's, I'm done. I've been, look at, I said on the fence, and right as I said on the fence, that's why I was like, oh my gosh, because look at, it's being on the fence about a decision, about a life decision, being at that crossroads, very Two of Swords, you know, very Two of Swords, and also Two of Pentacles, you know, but it's because they still had the mask of illusion on. They weren't seeing through the smoke and mirrors like you can see through the smoke and mirrors, like you've been seeing through the smoke and mirrors. They weren't able to see the way you were able to see. But because of rapid ascension, because of divine intervention, because of the astrology and the eclipses and the solar flares and just everything happening, the decisions and choices are made. No longer at the crossroads, because they're seeing with their soul eyes. They're seeing with their heart eyes. Okay. So we're 24 minutes in. So I'm just going to get a couple tarot cards and then maybe pull a few messages and just see what this person wants to say. I'm walking away. I'm burning it down. I'm leaving everything that's been hurting me and weighing on me, everything that's been draining me and that doesn't serve me, that is not good for me. I'm done. I'm leaving it behind. I'm protecting my peace. I'm tired of everyone making me the bad guy because I want more, because I want better, because I'm not happy. But somehow I become the bad guy. Somehow, right? Everyone else plays the victim. And I'm always here to, you know, to hold and pick up the pieces of the victimization. Divine Masculine is seeing through people's dysfunction. They're seeing through their family's dysfunction and generational patterns and things like that. It's not just, it's masks falling off and being ripped off in so many ways. So many ways. You know, it's like you get to a certain point in your awakening, your healing journey, right? Where you thought, right, your family growing up, maybe your parents, your family, right? Like, just like, you know, we're a close family and like, you know, we're really good family. And, you know, there's so much love in our family and, you know, all these things. And then you go through your awakening and then just one day you see that, yeah, maybe that's true on different levels and in different ways, but you also start remembering or waking back up to, or subconscious things that you that you shoved down, they resurface and pop back up, a memory that had been blocked that you compartmentalized, you know, and swept under the rug. And you realize one day, holy shit, my family is toxic. My family is dysfunctional. You know, we carpet sweep. We don't talk about things, you know. There's a lot of projecting. There's a lot of tiptoeing and walking on eggshells, you know. Like an example would be maybe having a parent who's an alcoholic and they drink, right? And everyone, you know, it's like maybe they get a little belligerent and they say things that are out of line, or they get loud, or, you know, and you're at family dinner, everyone's sitting around and right, and this one person who has this, right, this pattern of doing this, right? Sure enough, they do it again. Okay, but this time you say your truth instead of just sit there uncomfortable with everyone and everyone else suffering within in the discomfort, uncomfortable energy because another person is dysfunctional and can't, you know, control themselves. That's just an example, but I know for a lot of you guys it's going to resonate. My point is that that this person, that they're not just at like a crossroads about their life in this way and like wanting to have something new and just be free, and then, you know, to reconnect with Divine Feminine. It's just like, or whoever, Divine Feminine, I guess. Look, the Empress is showing up. Yeah. This is also a way shower. All right. So masculine, the Divine Masculine is stepping into their divine role here in New Earth, on New Earth. They're stepping into the divine role that they came here to be in. Okay. So I think I'm going to do a reading. I don't know. I think I want to do a message reading on that though, like about like Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine coming together, and what your roles on Earth are, and what are some things that come through, and roles of masculine and roles of feminine. You know what I mean? Divine Masculine. So, okay, so that was another thing. It's like the more, yeah, time for justice. And this is Libra. This is Libra too. We have double Libra. This is Taurus and Libra because it's Venus. And Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus. But this is just Libra here. So it's like double Libra, right? You have birthed so much beauty and new life into your reality. You are highly magnetic. People are attracted and drawn to you. People look at you and they feel that, you know, this beautiful, nurturing energy. You have a lot of good karma coming to you, because whether you realize it or not, you're someone who, like, you activate, you bring healing to people, whether you realize it or not. You could just be walking through the grocery store or standing in line next to someone, and you're bringing healing through your frequency to that person. Maybe you're soothing their nerves just by your frequency, calming them. You know, maybe they were feeling flustered. Maybe they had a bad day at work. You know, whatever it is, right? But it could be literal healing. and you don't even maybe realize you're doing that, okay? But like you do, many of you guys, right? And so again, it's just like a message about good karma coming. This is your time of balance. Things have balanced out. This is level, it's balanced for both of you guys. This is also about big, huge life decisions, you know, with the Libra energy. It could represent marriage or divorce, you know, legal contracts, the law, things like that. It's the 7th house. You know, Libra rules the 7th house of marriage and partnerships, relationships. This person is feels like this person is like it used to hold them back out of fear of rejection by you and stuff, but like now it's like what the message is, like this person is just like surrender. It's like they've gotten to a place of alignment where they hope for the best and they want to reconcile with you. They want this. They feel like you guys were two ships passing through the night. Like it's right person, wrong time. And I think for some of you guys, this person is going to say to you, I didn't know what it was, but there was something inside of me at the time that just felt like we couldn't be together, or then was not the time. But they might have a hard time explaining it because what they're trying to explain is the guidance from their higher self, from the soul. You know what I mean? So there's that 2 of Pentacles. See, this person, you know, they've been going back and forth. They've been going back and forth a lot in their life because they weren't trusting the signs. They weren't trusting their intuition. They weren't trusting what they were feeling. The ego kept kind of jumping in and trying to keep them stuck where they were at. So there was a lot of going back and forth about whatever they've been going on in their life, karmic stuff, third-party things, whatever it is. Mostly like third-party karmic situations. Because it was like they kept second-guessing, like, am I making the wrong choice? Like, what if this is who I'm supposed to be with, even though it's extremely toxic and I'm not happy, and, you know? Because it feels like it could be like, you know, like let's say divine masculine and a karmic partner. Let's say they met in some kind of a way that was very serendipitous, right? And so they took that meeting story as a sign that they were like true loves and true soulmates, because it was just so crazy how they met, right? We know that while this is true, this could be true, right? We know that the universe is very divine and intricate. So really it was the universe going, no, you and you have past life karma, that negative karma that needs to be cleared and some lessons that need to be learned. So I worked overtime to bring you guys together because both your free will choices, this was exhausting, but here you are. But the karma, you know, but the two of them are thinking, oh my gosh, this is so aligned, and right? When really it's the universe going, no, you guys need to work some shit out here, okay? So go have fun, right? Either way, my point is that masculine has a hard time because they're thinking like, wow, this has happened before, right? Where I have felt like so connected and like, oh my gosh, and like, you know, and then I was totally wrong. I made the wrong choice. It ended up being crazy and psycho and toxic and like all these things, like, you know, so they didn't trust it. And that's what I'm getting them about going back and forth. It's about like, you know, well, is this really what I think it is and what I'm feeling it is, or blah, 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 right? And so my point is that they finally have come into this space where they're like, without a shadow of a doubt, something has been shown to them through some kind of universal communication, some kind of sign, synchronicity. Something miraculous happened that really showed this person, and maybe even you too. Because let's say you guys are twin flames. If divine feminine twin flame is going back and forth, back and forth. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm confused. Masculine is going back and forth, back and forth. They're confused. They're confused. When Divine Feminine is not obsessing over so if Divine Feminine is obsessing over when will I hear from them, you know, will they call? Divine Masculine is running. They're not going to call and you're not going to hear from them because they can feel that. That's energetic, like stalking, you know, obsessing and thinking about them and when is this and when, right? My point is that when you are in this true vibration and frequency of Empress, like truly, not just being in your ego saying, oh yeah, I'm Empress, when you haven't done a day of shadow work in your life and you just think you're an Empress because you see 222, right? Like, not trying to like, right? But that's the God's honest truth, right? This is a frequency. It's not like something you could just get up and be like, I'm going to be an Empress today. I mean, you can treat yourself like an Empress, but that doesn't make you Empress, right? My point is that like attracts like, and you being where you're at, that's how you'll know if this is for you. You are doing you. Do you think she's sitting here obsessing over a man or a woman? Do you think she's sitting here obsessing or sitting by her phone going, when are they going to call and when am I going to meet the one? When am I going to get married? Like, you know, like, no, she's good. She's content. She is present in the moment. She does what feels good for her. She self-loves. She's attractive. She takes care of herself. She loves herself, which is why other people can feel that love frequency from her and around her, right? Animals, everyone, right? So my point is that someone is, you know, that song, like, who's gonna match my freak or whatever. I didn't know what that was. My girlfriend had to tell me, but anyways, it's them matching you, is my point. It's them matching you. Instead of running from the frequency and vibration, they are embracing it, running towards it. Because they're running towards it, the Chariot, because they know without a shadow of a doubt, you are that wish fulfillment. They are feeling something different though. They're recognizing that you both are wish fulfillments for each other. Like they're understanding the reciprocity of this union, this connection. Empress is getting a lot of wishes fulfilled right now. Just whoever Empress, Divine Feminine energy is here, a lot of wishes fulfilled, doors opening, new connections, money flowing in, just a lot. It's because the energy is balanced, and this is about you being in that receiving mode of Empress energy. Okay? But yeah, running towards you. Running towards you. Not sure if they've lost you, but they can't sit with this for the rest of their lives, right? So here they come, 8 of Wands. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna leave it here, 37 minutes in. I'm just gonna get a few messages. So anyways, guys, this is what I've got. You guys had to have this physical 3D separation because you guys, I mean, a twin flame thing, that's how it is anyways. Like, you're not with a twin flame, you're not married to a twin flame for 20 years and then go into a separation and then come back together and then it's like, oh, you know, we were, you know, it's not like twin flames are highly, highly, highly powerful as far as the frequency goes. Too much for either person to hold or handle when you guys meet in the 3D physical for a extended period of time. It's impossible. That's why it's so highly triggering, and that's why you guys separate in the 3D after meeting. Usually doesn't last more than maybe 3 to 5 months. This period of, I call it the twin flame honeymoon phase, where you guys connect in the physical 3D, maybe via phone or in person or whatever, long distance, for, you know, maybe up to 3 to 5 months. And then you go into physical separation, and that lasts a long time for many, you know, just depends on the free will and both of you guys and your, you know, healing choices and surrendering and everything like that, right? And then once you reach a certain level of healing or whatever, your frequency, if it reaches the frequency timeline on both ends, both polarities, then you can come in, right? But So, but anyway, my point is that it's a lot. It's a lot, right? And this is that point. This is that point. This is that turning point. So anyways, honeys, if you want to work with me, if you want to book with me, you want to connect one-on-one through a psychic mediumship reading, event sesh, I do general readings. I'm also a past life Akashic record reader, but I'm a guide. So I open your Akashic records, which is every lifetime that you've ever lived or had since your soul's incarnation. And usually about up to like 3 lifetimes usually comes in the hour session. But anyways, that's an option. And then I do quantum healing one-on-one energy healing sessions. And then I also do a 1-hour channeling with Goddess Isis and Mary Magdalene, where they channel through me to you, bringing forth activations, light language, messages, whatever it is. And then I will do like a little reading and stuff and pull cards and things like that. And then also, you know, channeling any guides that come through for you or other deities, etc. Okay. And we just had our 12 quantum healing and activation workshop for the 1010 portal this last weekend. If you are interested in purchasing the recording, because these workshops are extremely powerful. This one was centered around the dark feminine, dark masculine. This is centered around unconscious, subconscious wounds from past lives and even from this incarnation and lifetime that are, you know, preventing you from certain things, blocking you from certain things. You know, a lot of people, they spiritual bypass. They're afraid of shadow work because it's about diving into the darkest, deepest, most painful, excruciatingly painful, most humiliating, ashamed, you know, judged, whatever parts of self, you know? So this was centered around that, helping to connect with the shadow, to love the shadow, to heal wounds within the shadow, you know, or blockages, things like that. And then also the goddesses that were guided us in this workshop was Goddess Hecate, Queen of Witches, Queen of Magic, and Queen of the Underworld. Goddess Lilith, very close energy. She's dark feminine energy, right? And she's all about independence and empowering and, you know, having the right to choose your partner and your sexual partners. And, you know, she's very sensual in this way. She's, you know, she was considered like a rebel energy, but she's not. She's just a very strong feminine force. For man or woman. This is for men or women. Okay, we have men who purchased and joined the workshop as well. And then Goddess Freya. And Freya is a Nordic goddess. She, you know, was connected with with Odin. She is mostly depicted seen actually driving a chariot, being pulled by 2 black cats or cats. But she's, you know, a goddess of fertility and beauty and war and just different things like that. All right. So Hecate was the leader and she led pretty much the whole thing, but they stepped in, they were there, they held space along with Goddess Isis and her beloved twin flame Osiris. Just very powerful, you guys. So if you feel like you've been moving through a dark place over the last 6 months, dark nights of the soul, over the last 6 months, year, or even longer, if you feel like you don't know how to do shadow work, this would be good for you. If you feel like you do shadow work, but you know, you feel like you need more help with it and you want more help with it, this would be good for you. Okay. So if you're called, then just the ticket or the price for the recording, it's the same as a ticket for the live workshop that we just did. It's $44 USD. So if that calls to you, mi amors, just email me, emails down below, GypsyCowgirlTarot@gmail.com. And just say, I'm interested in purchasing the recording for the 1010 workshop, you know, or whatever. And then we'll set you up, okay? So I love you guys. Those of you guys who were there, you know, like it was just wow, okay? And I did send out recordings for the workshop. So just FYI, I've had a couple people, like a few people actually email and they were like, hey, I never got my recording. So I don't know like how, anyway, so I'm going back through and I'm just like double checking, triple checking. But anyways, if you did purchase the workshop or the recording and for some reason you haven't gotten it, after today, just email me. Here we go. From masculine, or maybe you, I don't know. I am changing in secret. Nobody truly knows except me. Yeah, it's like, you know, again, it's like when you're awakening and ascending and stuff. Like, nobody really knows what's happening with you because, I mean, first of all, like, what are you gonna say? I feel different. Something's changing within me. Like, you know, people are gonna be like, you're crazy. Let's lock you up in a psych ward. You know, like, you can't, right? That's another thing. It's like, when I said earlier, the masculine can feel the empathy, you know, emanating from the feminine energy from you. It means a lot in these regards where it's like they feel the connection of authenticity and divine soul truth, meaning like I know that I can share with my feminine the things I'm feeling, seeing, dreaming of, going through, the signs I'm getting, and they're not going to think I'm crazy. I know that my feminine is like the one person on the face of this earth that I can open up to and talk to about these things, and that he or she is just going to be extremely loving and open to just receive what I have to share and say, which is why I feel so drawn and magnetized as well. I manifested you into my life, and then I ghosted because I wasn't ready. This is tying up at the end exactly what I channeled in the beginning. Very first thing I said about you both had a lot of work to do before you get to this point. And masculine running because they weren't ready. How they couldn't, literally they could not, and there's no way they could explain this to you because they didn't even know themselves. They just felt it and knew it. There's no way I can hold the frequency of love for this person and in a relationship with this person. They just knew on some level that it would be impossible to do, which is why, or part of why they run. I have changed since then. So again, I'm changing in secret. Nobody knows but me. Nobody knows it but me. That song, you know? Basically, like, I'm missing you, I'm dying inside, but nobody knows it but me. This goes with that too. But I've changed since then. I've changed since then. I am researching things like twin flames, awakening, and tarot. Yep. They're doing just right all the things that we do when we awaken. Maybe I had never watched tarot in my life. I had never heard of a twin flame in my life until I met my twin flame. After, actually. And I didn't start watching tarot or was drawn to watch tarot until after I met my twin and we went into physical separation. Actually, I think it was maybe right before we went into physical separation. And I was the one that pulled, I initiated the separation because he was triggered. He was pulling away. He was just being more absent, very, you know, communicating less texting, less phone calls, less, right? And then it would be like, you know, answering a text message from like the morning, and they'd be answering it like the next morning. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And I was just like, no. This does not work for me. You can go do what you need to do. I send love. I'm always here. My heart is open to you. Like the doors are open to you. You know, like whenever you're ready, I'm here, but like, no, like go do you, you know, with love. It was like that. But like right around then is when I, you know, started watching the tarot and like, you know, all these things. That's what I meant earlier though, with a lot of feminines who actually were the ones that initiated separation, but it's because they had to. They were also called to do a lot of healing and go within. So, and then the very last card here, wow, you guys, it says, I will be reaching out by the next new moon. So we just had a new moon, right? Eclipse, solar eclipse, new moon eclipse, right? Or new moon, solar eclipse, but now we're going to be having the full moon coming up, what, like this next week? So within the next, like, you know, like 3-4 weeks, okay? And then we also have like confirmations of signs and synchronicities. 143, which is I love you. In the old days when we had pagers, pager code 143 was I love you. And so whenever I see 143, and I've talked about this for like years now, I'm sharing with you guys like who know or who don't know, it's I love you. So if you're seeing that, and then 144-222, 888-666, 717, 818, 111, oops, 1111. Okay. So this is what I've got for you guys. We went way longer than anticipated, but oh well. Okay, so I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you again, mi amors. Yeah, I'm working on zodiacs today. I'm also like in between recordings, I am meeting with clients and I am doing recorded readings because I have a lot of recording that I got to do for clients. But I'm working on the zodiacs. Okay, so if you're new here, I don't do like scheduled every single week zodiacs, or like I don't do that because I do things when I'm called, or like when I get a message or a download, or I get that feeling, oh, I got to go record Taurus, which Taurus is the one I'm recording. I want to do Taurus, I'm going to try to do Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo today, but we'll see how it goes, how my energy levels are. So anyways, loves, have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Namaste, and thank you.